Let's get into the first one, that is Facebook. It's a social media giant listed in 2012 by none other than Mark Zuckerberg.
He's the founder, of course. Fantastic model, and this is the giant in the sector because of its active number of users, which is well in excess of 1.2, 1.3 billion people simultaneously. And remember, apart from the core Facebook application, which is online, and in addition on a web, we also have Instagram, WhatsApp, and then some new technology projects.
We're looking at a market cap, as you say, this is the big one in the sector, $240.9 billion US dollars, PE of 83, shooting the lights out there, pays no dividend, but you're backing this story, Paul Theron.
Absolutely. So I've been a shareholder of this thing since the day it listed, and we've added to them. Remember the pattern here, the share price chart will come up while we're busy talking about this. It listed at around $40 a share. It went down to 23, 24, 25. Everybody said you were an idiot if you bought them. Since then it rallied sharply right up above $80. But really it's because it's played its cards right. It's got popular platforms, it's done well in the mobile environment, and the corporate presence on Facebook is very strong. So that's people advertising events, people using Facebook in order to promote brands, and more of that also on those secondary platforms, which we can talk about, Instagram and WhatsApp.
There's your graph right now reflecting the share price. My question is always going to be the same. With a PE of 86 or so, would you deploy new cash into this company?
I think you've got to own them. I think if you buy the idea that social media and this kind of activity is going to be a fundamental part of human activity for the years to come, Facebook is a definite must own. Let me give you the example within WhatsApp. So WhatsApp starts off being a fun, fabulous thing for people to post photos. Not WhatsApp, excuse me, Instagram. Scrub what I said there, Instagram. People posting pictures, but quite soon brands like Nike, Starbucks, those kinds of people start creating corporate accounts and then paying for that to be accessed in an Instagram environment and for people to follow that. So it starts to become a useful environment. You can also have celebrities, we know this, using their Instagram platforms to promote their products, and also paying for that access.
And using the Twitter platform as well, getting paid to communicate with their millions of followers.
So we're going to talk about Twitter in a minute. As far as WhatsApp is concerned, because this is also Facebook, right? Remember, that's now, in the Western world anyway, the preeminent messaging platform. Completely free, no ads there, but everybody pays $1 a year in order to have that access.
And you are automatically connected to pretty much everybody in your address book unless they block you.
Indeed, and using the feature partly to communicate with your family and so on, directly, but you can also join various groups. So, I mean, it's a trivial example, but, me and my running pals doing the Comrades Marathon recently, we're all sending each other, motivational messages on our little group. And
not
then
trivial at all, Paul.
That kind of
glad you share it.
Passes by, and that becomes a non-issue, but it's a really fabulous way of people. And of course, the service is fantastic because you get those two little ticks. And you get the 2 ticks if someone has seen your message.
So you know whether somebody is ignoring you if they don't
because the little ticks went blue, so you know they've seen it.
In terms of those messaging groups, I've only recently learned how to deregister once the event is over.
And archive them and so on and so forth. Because like everything, it does need to be managed, otherwise it can become a bit chaotic. Indeed.
Right, so that is Facebook. You've said you would deploy more cash into it at current levels. You're giving it a hot.
Many institutional investment bankers and others feel that Facebook on its earnings trajectory ought to be trading at $120. It's trading at 82, 83, 84, 85. That's good and well. In a fairly choppy market this year, it's continued to do well. It will have results regularly. It'll update us all on how it's doing. It's got a wonderful management team. We mentioned Zuckerberg earlier. He's young, he's clever. And, I mentioned the new technology stuff. Sorry, I'm going on. Oculus Rift. Those are the things that like virtual reality goggles. Facebook bought that. Why did they buy that? Because they know that in years to come, people are going to be watching more video. And once you put those goggles on, you can interact with people like your doctor or your stockbroker or your advisor.
I can see you're lining up to be one of the first buyers of the goggles.
In America, people go to psychologists a lot, to the shrink. So what could be better than putting the goggles on and sitting in your own couch at home? Then you can interact with your shrink without having to drive across town.
Can we move on now? I know you love the Facebook story. Are you happy to move on now?
Absolutely. So it's a strong buy, it's a hot stock, and I think in your international portfolio, it's definitely one of those you've got to have.